Welcome everybody to this new pick a card video. My name is Ellie and it's a pleasure to meet you if you're new to the channel. It's amazing to feel your beautiful presence on my video today. This one will be all about your current healing and how you can find healing at this time. So we're not going to explore deeply rooted traumas just yet, not in this reading. I figured that I would do this in a separate video. In today's reading, we will be focusing on what needs current healing at this time in your life so that you can move through your life sort of unobscured by any sorts of pain, old pain that will be trying to latch into your current situation, in other words. Therefore, if healing has been a very present theme of your life lately, kind of like me, you're not alone, or if healing has been a resolution of yours lately, to try to do some more inner work, then definitely this video can help you out, get yourself situated and started on that. If there's one thing that I want you to be able to take out from this video is for you guys to remember that healing is not always this sort of like judgment-like moment, like the judgment card in tarot, where there's just like this archangel that descends from the sky and it's like this wow sort of illumination and liberation and beautiful moment where all of the weight is being lifted off your shoulders and all of a sudden it's like you feel so much better and you don't have to undergo through pain anymore. It's not really like that. In fact, most of the time actually healing is quite the opposite of that. It's actually it can be very painful. It can be extremely demanding, extremely exhausting, extremely daunting. And sometimes healing can be the journey of your lifetime, taking you on a roller coaster of different emotions and different experiences, where it keeps coming back in your life, trying to sneak in as you are less and less aware of it. Our wounds sometimes over time, they become smarter and smarter in trying to trick us to fall back into our old patterns. So it's a constant decision that you have to make with yourself every day to choose to heal. That's why it's a journey that is not meant to be easy. So please remember to be patient with yourself. Remember to be compassionate with yourself, baby, because healing sometimes it can be the journey of your life. You know, we all came here to heal, and we all came here with the ability to be able to heal as well. But just because we were given this ability to be able to heal doesn't mean that it's what everybody and every single one of us chooses to do. And sometimes I know that for myself, I've fallen into some frustrations in the past about some people around me that will not make those same, conscious choices of healing as I was doing, or at least it appeared like that in my eyes. But it's important to respect the divine timing and divine choice that comes with healing as well. And it's important to let other people have their own connection and relationship with that, and the right to go through it at their own rhythm and through their own choice as they are ready, as you give yourself the permission to go through your own healing as you are ready. And while we cannot heal other people, the other people around us against their own will, we can certainly still heal our own selves and hopefully inspire them to choose to heal. And this is my wish for every single one of you who are on this reading today. So if you guys are ready, let me take you to my altar right behind me, and I'm going to present to you the piles that I have for you today. Welcome to the pile selection, everybody. Now, before I present to you the piles, let me just remind you that this is a general reading and therefore it won't resonate with just everybody, and that's because this reading was crafted to resonate with the people that it is meant to reach. So don't forget, I'm just a tarot reader and human being just like you, and therefore I have an ego too. And this means that my interpretations from the cards today, although they come from my heart to yours and from the best of intentions, they are still not the absolute. So please take in what serves you personally and leave behind the rest. So now for the pile selection, I will ask you guys to choose one of these soul medicine for yourself today with your intuition. And this is going to be pile 1 over here. This is going to be pile 2 there. We have pile 3 over here. And finally, we have pile 4. So once you guys have done your choice, head down into the description box down below and click on the timestamp associated with your pile, and that will sort of force forward you towards your reading. I will now offer a 30-second meditation to help you tune in with the energy of this reading and of each individual pal. So if you guys are ready for the meditation, please find a comfortable position where you can relax and bring your awareness into your heart center and take a few deep breaths from there. So let's start by calling in together the spirits of the sacred space, and let's begin together. So watch out for your ears if you are wearing some headphones. Welcome to your reading, Pal 1. So you guys have chosen here this very beautiful card, Nourish Your Temple. And so we're going to start this reading today with some chakra oracle cards to sort of see what areas of your energetic body needs your attention the most right now. Because for when it comes to healing, all is connected, right? Our mind, our physical body, and energetic body are in constant communication with each other. And our energetic body is what I tend to find that we tend to neglect a little, because a lot of us can see it or feel it. Therefore, we tend to ignore it a little bit more, or a lot of the time. But after that, we're going to jump straight into your tarot cards and see specifically what needs healing in your life at this time. And then after that, we're going to finally reveal some extra oracle cards at the end of your reading to see what is your healing prescription from the universe right now at this time. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. The first chakra oracle card that we have for you is Growth, which this card is associated with the heart chakra. And then we have Workaholic. And this chakra right there, the color blue, is associated with the throat chakra. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, so right away, Pal 1, it seems like your growth or potential for growth in something is being stumbled a little bit right now. And that's because somewhere you're burnt out. To me, this kind of growth here seems to indicate that there are certain experiences in your life that could be in the availability to give you a lot more than what you're currently gaining from them, or that could unfold in very magnificent ways if you would simply slow down a little bit more for them and be more present for them. Perhaps that some of you as well feel like they are missing out on life because of maybe certain responsibilities that keep you away from enjoying yourself as much in other aspects that are also very important to your heart. And I don't know why, but like the best example that I'm having of that is, for example, like a parent that had the big realization lately that they were missing out on some precious time with their children because of work. So like maybe that they can't be as present for their child as they wish they could be. Maybe that this parent had to miss a very important event in the life of their child because of work, like a graduation of some sort. I mean, or some sort of ceremony, or like a school play or a dance competition, something like that. I'm just throwing you a random example right now. But maybe that some of you are in this type of sort of position right now where you feel like you're missing out on the growth of something also important to you, as though you aren't present enough to see someone or something else grow in your life, possibly. Or some of you feel like you're missing out on your life a little. At the very least, that you're missing out on a very important aspect of your life, that you're not growing there while all of your energy is being absorbed or focused into some sort of work, some sort of responsibility or role you need to keep up with. Because this kind of growth, it's like I've said, it's associated with the heart chakra, basically. And the heart chakra is all about sinking into the full dimension of the experience of what is happening, so that you can really be present for it and absorb all that there is for you to feel about it, part one. When we are really present in a moment, there are so much more information that we can absorb from our environment, much more than when our mind space is burdened by all of that noise of what we will need to do in a nearby future. When we feel into our experience, we're adding up another layer to it, basically, where life doesn't seem as great anymore, or where life doesn't feel as unfulfilling, as boring, as monotone. When we cut ourselves from that, or when we cut what we do from this energetic center, basically, that is your heart, things can lose their purpose very rapidly, and life can become a lot more serious than it needs to be. So it seems here like you have started to take yourself very seriously in a work that you're doing somewhere in your life. It has become maybe all work and no play for you, Pawan. So I don't know why, but this workaholic card with the blue color really makes me think of the mind, as though you are so busy in your head right now that you don't have the time to be in your heart. And some of you had a big realization lately, maybe, that life was changing, a life-changing realization triggered by a certain event in your life, most likely, that led you to see how precious your time was, basically, and that if you were to live a better life and not miss out on significant moments, then you needed to find a way to slow down, to really come into a rhythm of life that would be a bit more heart-driven than head-driven, in a sense. But let's see now what your tarot cards will have to say about that, basically. So we're starting with the Princess of Wands reversed. And then we have the Two of Discs, otherwise known as the Two of Pentacles. Then we have the Prince of Discs, which is the Knight of Pentacles in a traditional tarot deck. This card is reversed as well. Then we have the Three of Discs reversed. So the Three of Pentacles reversed. Lots of Pentacles energy in your reading. Then finally we have the Emperor reversed. All right, Pawan. I feel like I know what this is about. Okay, so right away, some of you have a habit to take on their plate more than you should or that you need, and it's sucking a lot of time, energy, involvement, fulfillment, pleasure, fun out of your life, basically. The only card that you have upright in your reading, Pawan, is the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is like trying to juggle and keep up with too many things at once, which rapidly becomes overwhelming. And like I've said, this looks like a burnout of some sort, where you cannot take any more of something, Pawan, before it comes all crashing down, before you lose balance, basically. For some of you, that's because you're refusing to delegate here, it seems, with the Three of Discs being reversed, because the Three of Pentacles it speaks of a work that should be a group effort. It speaks of collaboration, of teamwork. And some of you are in this Knight of Pentacles reverse mode right now where you want to do something alone or on your own because you feel that you can't really fully trust in this organization here or group or sort of association in your life with this Two of Pentacles. Or maybe that's because you don't want to get involved with those people, maybe having to chase them, or you don't want to have to mother them or be bossed around by them. This feels like work related for the most of you, obviously. But I am also getting the message for someone here who has chosen this path that this is actually talking about their parenting role somehow. Someone here has undertaken the role of mother and father to their own children, maybe because one of the parent isn't in your child's life anymore, in your children's life for some reason or another, maybe because your partner doesn't get involved as much as you perhaps as well, or maybe because their own work and responsibilities are keeping them away, are keeping them from getting as involved into their role at home, or maybe because some of you are pushing away even the authority or the help of your partner. But whatever this is that is leading you to take on too much, Pawan, and whatever it is that makes you feel like everything is on you to be able to make it, like all of this weight or pressure is on your shoulders alone. That's what needs to be dropped here, because whoever or whatever is pushing you to have to be this sort of superhuman for everybody, that is what is eating a lot of your vital force and energy at this time. I'm seeing with this Emperor reversed that for some of you, the issue can be traced back from a long time ago somehow. Okay, so I don't know why, but the issue that you have with authority or this pattern of sort of overextending your energy comes from this relationship, from a relationship with a father, or whoever played a role of this father figure in your life. Because let's face it, a father in our day and age can mean a bunch of different things. You may have grown up with a single mother that had to take on the role of father to you. But I'm seeing that this wound of like having to juggle everything on your own and do all of these things on your own in order to keep your head above water, it comes from a dynamic from a father figure that could have been very controlling over you, very strict, very authoritative. With the Emperor being reversed, it's like you had to do so much for this person to be proud of you, or maybe to notice you, or to approve of you. Maybe that this father person in your life was difficult to satisfy and had very high expectations of you. Maybe that they were workaholic themselves, and that they chose their work over you, or maybe that they chose to prioritize other relationships over you. It feels like they were extremely demanding of you for sure. I feel as well that many of you had to become self-sufficient quite early on, because this person failed to be the support system that you truly needed with the Three of Pentacles reverse right next. Or they sort of failed to provide the type of support that you needed. And what I'm seeing here is that this person convinced you that you had to be more, or to do more in order to be enough for them, in order to have their love, their approval, or their validation. And it stumbled your growth in a way, because that's conditional love right there that I'm seeing here. That is I love you if you can do that. I love you if you can be like that. It really looks to me, with this Princess of Wands reversed as well, that you had to be a certain way in order for this person to even include you in the bunch, or include you in the group, or include you in the family. Something like that. Some of you had to grow up a lot faster than other children as well. Maybe that you had to become this provider figure for your own family at a very young age. Maybe because you had to help another parent make their ends meet, compensate for that other parent that was absent, and maybe that you try to help them fulfill their responsibilities, basically. And because of that, it's like there is simply so much that you had to learn to do on your own. What I feel needs healing in your life, Pile 1, is this need right now that you may have to prove yourself to the world around you. Because that is what is at the root of this whole energy drainage with the Princess of Wands reversed. And of you overextending yourself or over demanding of yourself. Perhaps that this is as well at the root issue of you feeling maybe ashamed to ask for help sometimes as well, with the Three of Pentacles being reversed. Because with the Emperor reversed, whenever the Emperor comes out reversed, basically, this is like my way or the highway type of energy. I feel that this is what you guys have been affected by, most likely, which led you to this belief that you need to be able to do certain things on your own in order to be worthy, to need to be able to fend for yourself without this extra help, possibly with this Three of this reversed. You need to be able to do this all alone in order to be worthy. But why, Pile 1? What are you trying to prove yourself here? Or why do you keep feeling like you can't trust someone else to take some of that load with you? I have to tell you something. Some of you are way harder on yourself than you need to be, way harder. And that is what is pulling you away from finding your own positive motivations right now. I am saying that because it feels like you are being fueled, your energy is being motivated basically by the need to try to keep things in your hand, by the need to keep up and having things under your control, basically with this Two of Pentacles, rather than you are being fueled by passion right now, by your heart, because you really want this, or because you really can feel it. So it seems like you are being motivated and moved by the fear of punishment here, possibly the types of punishments that maybe you will get as a child when you deceive this parent figure over here. I feel that so much healing in your life right now will occur as you cut this cord with this person that showed you a version of love that was conditional. It will maybe be beneficial for you to cut cords with anybody from your past, everyone, every experiences that showed you this type of conditional love, Pile 1. For some of you, maybe that these were your partners as well, maybe like past partners, or maybe that these were like bosses that treated you this way as well. Maybe that you kept getting involved in partnerships or in commitments where there was this weird power dynamic sort of a play as well, where maybe you will get involved with people who will try to sort of dominate you or control you or tell you how to be a good mom, how to be a good dad, or how to be a worthy employee. It's as though this is someone you had to constantly go above and beyond in order to earn their respect or simply to earn their appreciation, you know? And with this what this Two of Pentacles here is showing me is that all of that is linked. So that experience is linked to how you are behaving in the present right now. All of this is bounded to this one cord that you need to let go with this extra party that doesn't belong here in your head and in your life anymore, Pile 1. And it's crazy because I don't necessarily feel the physical presence of that person anymore, but I feel their energy still attached to you or obstructing your life somehow. And what you need right now is to clip it, basically to detach those two pentacles from it, I feel. This is kind of like an umbilical cord that formed with this father or this mother or this ex-partner or that boss or whoever this is, basically, that tried to be the boss of you at some point, and that absolutely needs to be cut now. That you are your own independent individual. You basically need to free your energy from this, I feel, Pawan, because you have been attached to Discord for a very, very long time now. And I don't feel that some of you realize that this is all linked, that this is all still bound together somehow. It's a burden. And once you free yourself from it, it's like you will discover another side to life again. One that is so much more fun, less serious, a lot more lighthearted and full of play, basically, is what I feel for you. But let's see how you may heal from this. We have here the card of sensitivity. Then we have acceptance. Those cards are so beautiful. They're very dreamy. And then finally, we have the card of learning for you, Pawan. Interesting. Learning. That speaks to me a lot, actually. I feel as though a lot of you who have chosen Pawan needs to learn how to be a child again, and to accept those times where you needed to separate yourself from this inner child in order to survive. Because I feel that you guys have such mature, responsible energy, but then somewhere along the journey, you've got separated from your inner child, or maybe that you weren't allowed to even be a child very much in your own childhood or in your own life in general. Some of you may have a lot of earth in their chart as well. You may have a lot of Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus energy. You may have a Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon as well. And don't worry, this reading can still apply and resonate with you if you don't have any of those placements. But that reminds me of a Capricorn moon or ascendant energy that I'm feeling here, because the energy of Capricorn is really meant to be the wise sage of the zodiac. Let me tell you that. And these people have a sense of responsibility like no other. But you know, like I always say, every sign has their great perks and their great gifts and strengths, but they also have all of their weaknesses and their wounds attached to those strengths as well. And I tend to find that for when it comes to Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon people especially, these people often tend to forget how to play and how to laugh and how to smile, basically, when they get so focused and concentrated on their goals, on what needs to be done, and on their responsibility. Those people tend to become responsible people at a very, very young age. And very often that's because their childhood asked that of them. Sorry. I'm so sorry if I have trouble expressing myself today. I feel like it has been a while since I filmed these videos and I have to put myself back into it again. I tend to find that when Capricorn start taking things too seriously, they can start slipping in this very cold, stone-like experience of life and start to completely lose touch and lose their relationship to their inner child. And even if you don't have these astrological placements, like I was saying, that this doesn't remove the fact that this is what the universe seems to be prescribing a lot of you at this time. First, it will be important to cut discord with this person here in your life whose approval depended very much on your actions. Whether this person is in your present or in your past, this person that was like this emperor reversed in your childhood, perhaps, maybe, where maybe your decisions, choices, personal identity needed to align with this person's wishes of you, where you needed to behave as expected from them, because this wound is one of conditional love and belonging, self-esteem and recognition, I feel, self-actualization. That is what I feel with your cards, Pawan, especially with all of that earth energy being really present here with your cards. It's like something somewhere has become a lot very serious basically, and it taken you out of this play mode, out of your own natural inner child energy. With that Three of Pentacles reversed, that Emperor reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Pentacles, it's like a lot of healing will also happen as you learn to slow down so that you can really come to live your life a bit more and retrieve the inner child that you were supposed to be in good terms with. So cutting this cord for you, Pawan, will happen once you accept this relationship that you had as part of your past, as you stop trying to reject it, or as you abandon hopes for a different past about it, basically. So like I have said, a lot of you as well may have had to grow a lot faster than other kids and take on responsibilities very early on because of a parent maybe that failed to be able to provide everything that you needed, or maybe because one of your parents pushed you very much to become this responsible child very early on. And let's get honest here together, you guys, all right? Because that's an important point for when it comes to inner child healing. But our parents are flawed human beings, just like we are, basically. And those of you who have children of your own can surely understand how there is no such thing as a blueprint of what a perfect parent is supposed to be like, simply because all children are different and have different needs. You know, one child can need to be very smothered and very secured, while another one may need freedom to try certain things on their own. You know, some children need more structure than others as well. Some of them need more emotional presence. Others need more security. And it's not to excuse the lack of support that you may have felt in your younger years here, Pawan, the lack of approval that you may have felt. But that's just to say that sometimes our expectations as children of or what the parents should be like are very deceived. And you're really not alone. And it's important to grieve that. But it's also important to understand that our parents as well have their own journey. They are on their own journey, which is very individualized and specific for them. And I feel that there will be a lot of healing happening in you accepting that and seeing that. There will be a lot of healing and that acceptance. I don't know why as well I'm hearing that to you guys, for you guys specifically right now, but if you have the date of birth and if you can get the time of birth of your parents, please, please, please go check their birth chart and take a look at their Saturn placement and the house Saturn is in as well. Because Saturn in astrology speaks of basically our karma, or basically the lessons that we came to endure here in this life. And I feel that noticing that, seeing that from your own mother and your own father, if you can, you know, from this parent in your life, it will sort of, it will not excuse them, but I feel that it will help you understand why they have acted in certain ways with you and what sorts of expectations they were requiring of you. I feel that it will make you come to a lot of acceptance to see that and to understand that. So if you can, definitely do that. Look at their Saturn placement, the sign basically that Saturn is in, as well as the house it sits in. But you know, about acceptance, and that's the thing about acceptance, is that acceptance, as I always say, is not passive resignation, and acceptance is surely not liking, wanting, choosing, or supporting. It doesn't mean that you like your anxiety, that you want your chronic pain, that you will choose your body or support an injustice that's happened to you or to someone else. Acceptance is simply acknowledging the facts as they are, as hurtful and as difficult as they are to see. Acceptance is seeing the truth for what it is, because it's only then that we can take a stand basically and prevent the situation from happening again. When we accept, we can raise awareness level and raise our vibration, because we're now conscious of the fact that maybe we didn't choose our parents or predicaments or the body that we have, but we can choose to allow it to be there when we can't change it in that moment. This is about learning how to make space for it, to give yourself the permission to be as you are, feel what you feel with this card of sensitivity as well, for accepting what you have experienced without creating unproductive shame or anxiety about it. So some of you have never allowed to break down in front of that person maybe, or maybe that you don't allow yourself to break down in front of a lot of people in general, in front of your own children, if you have any. But let yourself be human. Pawan, let yourself be a child again and forgive yourself for that. Many people think that acceptance means passivity, that it means giving up, that it means relinquishing agency, but you're not. And practicing acceptance does not necessarily mean you won't be able to make changes. The thing is, we can't change anything that we refuse to own. And that's the lesson here for you, my Pawan, is that you are learning here. You guys are learning to surrender and to accept who you are as you are without the need to feel like you have to prove yourself for it. It might be even your life's journey to come through that, to come to seek your own personal validation and approval instead of this other person's validation and approval. But you guys will find a lot of healing by releasing some of that grip that you have over your own self and cut yourself some slacks, Pawan, as you allow yourself to not always be so productive and performant in your life. You know, as you stop being your worst critic and reliving the voice of this person through your own, nobody has it all together. Even I am trying to figure it out just like you. You know, I am the biggest work in progress of my life, but it's important for my Pawan that you guys learn to rest and to loosen up a little bit more with yourself. Getting some proper hours of sleep, you know, carving that time to just meditate and be with yourself for 5 minutes. You know, those things could be life-changing for you. You guys just need some rest and to nourish your body, you know. I feel like it's no coincidence that you guys have chosen this card here. That's a lot of physical healing that I'm seeing here with all of this earth energy as well being present, all of these color greens as well. So that's taking more care of your body so that it can unpack and heal your thoughts and your spirit as well. You know, self-care exercises having to do with the body, like massaging yourself or doing some yoga. I've just heard that for some of you, and practicing being in the moment, you know, and eating the food that you can resonate with as well is going to bring back a lot of that motivation and life force that you feel you have lost lately, Pawan, with this Princess of Wands here. But Pawan, this is all that I'm seeing as the messages of healing that you need to hear right now. And I want to thank you so much for being on this reading with me today and for giving me this chance to be your guide through it. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope that you have some directions as to where to find healing at this time. So if you appreciated this video, definitely keep in touch and subscribe. It will be amazing to have you in a family with us. Some of you as well who have been interested to see my online private tarot services. I do offer personal tarot readings like that, and I offer various sorts of healing guidance sessions. So the link to my online store will be down below in the description box, and otherwise I hope to see you all soon again in another video. Bye bye, you guys. Welcome back to your reading. So you guys have chosen this card over here, positive affirmations. So this is really beautiful right there. Maybe that this has been an intention of yours lately to maybe ameliorate the relationship that you have with yourself. But we're going to start this reading today with some chakra oracle cards right now to sort of see what areas of your energetic body needs your attention the most right now. Because for when it comes to healing, I tend to find that all is connected. You know, our mind, our physical body, our energetic body, all of those are basically in constant communication with each other. And our energetic body is what I tend to find that we neglect the most, because a lot of us can see it. basically. And sometimes we can't even feel it. And therefore, we tend to ignore it a little bit more. But then after that, we're going to jump into your tarot cards and see specifically what needs healing in your life, get into more details about that. And finally, at the end of the reading, I also have some extra oracle cards to see what your healing prescription from the universe is at this time. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. The first chakra oracle cards that you guys have received is Impatience. And this card is related to the throat chakra, this color blue. And then we have Facade. And this card is associated with the plexus solar chakra, with the color yellow. All right, pile 2. So the first thing that came to me with this card of Facade is that it makes me think of trying to keep up with certain appearances, because this card deals with the plexus solar chakra, like I was saying, and basically the plexus solar chakra is all about personal power and about personal identity. It also speaks of the ego and everything that we identify with. It also speaks of authenticity as well. So the first message that seems to be coming through here is you guys perhaps having gone through a rejection of some sort, or you may be trying to avoid a certain rejection in your life. It feels like what needs healing is impacting your ability to be a bit more patient with yourself, or with your progress with something, so that what you're doing can be done the right way, or so that it can be done in integrity with what it is supposed to be, basically. And I don't know why, but I'm feeling somehow as though you guys may be trying to push yourselves to a certain standard right now. You guys may be trying to force something to come through that isn't meant for you, or that you think is important in your life, but then it's not. With this kind of the Facade, it just makes things look good on the surface maybe, but then when it comes to the core of this thing, forcing something to happen goes against the integrity of what it's meant to be. So for example, maybe that some of you are trying to force through someone to love you, or maybe that you are being impatient with your progress in something, but then rushing it will go against the integrity of what this thing is supposed to form or become, of the success that it's meant to bring you, or the integrity of the love that it is supposed to create, basically. So I don't know yet what this situation could be about. However, I do want to say this to my pal too. I feel that when we push too hard for improvement with something, or for a breakthrough with something, we can actually move into resistance with it. I feel that if there is something that you really want to bring through in your life right now, or invite more into your life at this time, then chances are that you are most likely probably already on the brink of creating it in your life anyways. You're probably on the verge of doing it anyway, because it's something that's on your mind, and it's something that you feel that you really want, that you feel that you can do, and something that you feel that you can really have. And all of that is basically strengthening your initial intent. So I feel that it's already more likely that you are in alignment with that reality that you may believe you are. And of course, there is always something physical or action-oriented that you can do to bring you even more in alignment with that. But I also want to say that when we get into this strict and patient mood with ourselves, and we really expect so much of ourselves, and we want this thing right now, and we push ourselves to our ultimate breaking point, we're probably going to move into resistance with what it is that we are trying to seek or make happen anyway. And we are going to probably end up deceiving ourselves and feeling even more frustrated with this thing anyway. So I don't know if some of you maybe have felt the pressure or rush to do something lately, or to accomplish yourself in something. But what I'm getting is that some of you guys could be wanting something to happen right now. And as you are unhappy with your progress, it seems like you are creating a bit of resistance for yourself, or it's like this impatience is making you fall out of integrity and authenticity with what you are trying to build or attract at this time, pal, too. And that's a big thing that your guides want to tell you to watch out for, basically, at this time. But let's see now what your tarot cards will have to say about that. Let's get into more details for you. We have the Magician, then we have the Chariot, then we have the Queen of Wands reversed, then we have the Six of Cups, and then finally we have the Six of Swords. Wow, so now I understand why this kind of impatience sort of came out. We have a lot of action-oriented cards here. So we are starting your reading here with a Magician, which is all about channeling your willpower into actions so that the Magician can bring into material form what he wants, and because he can, basically. And then after that, this card is followed up by the Chariot right next, with the Chariot is this character that is go and get it. Nothing can stop me, and I will have what I want no matter what it takes. And then we have the Queen of Wands here, the fiery Queen of Tarot for you guys as well, which normally this Queen of Wands is filled with passion, with creativity, confidence, self-assurance. But then she is reversed for you guys, meaning that your Queen of Wands may have entered into its shadow lately. And when the Queen of Wands is in our shadow, she can become very demanding, very frustrated, very temperamental, impatient, and maybe even a bit selfish at times. So it seems like you guys are seeking something, trying to push yourself for a breakthrough or success with something right now. You guys are feeling a bit frustrated, and that's because actually what is happening is that you're filled with passion about this thing, and you really want this thing to work so bad. Your frustration is actually your passion, pal, too. The problem that I'm seeing here, though, is that you're trying to talk your own self out of it, and it's like you're trying to almost convince yourself that you don't have what it takes. What needs to be repaired and healed is your self-confidence, pal, too. And what the Six of Cups here is saying is to look at your past, possibly even your childhood, because the Six of Cups can definitely be a card of childhood memories, because this lack of self-confidence that you feel stems from your past being unburied again. You even have the Six of Swords here, that is talking to me about you needing to release some baggage of this past so that you can move on and feel lighter. I'm wondering if my Paltus have been surrounded by people at a young age who kept giving up on their dreams and goals very fast. Maybe that you guys have watched certain adults around you give up very fast on their own aspirations. Maybe that you have been told many times about what you can and cannot do, who you could and could not become, which leads me to the question that I have for you, Paltu. And when was the last time that someone truly encouraged you sincerely and told you that you could become anything that you ever wanted? I feel that those who have felt drawn to this path didn't get to hear that quite often. Or maybe that you had a loved one in your close inner circle or family that always seemed to do a bit better than you. Because I don't know why, but comparison energy is coming through here somehow. Like maybe that there was a little bit of competition in between you and some siblings as well, which is another message I'm getting for maybe some of you who have chosen this pile. It could be meant for just literally one of you guys. Maybe that some of you felt like you weren't getting the same special treatment as another child maybe, but there could have been a lot of comparison energy starting at a young age is what I'm seeing here. So competition energy with this Chariot and comparison energy with the Six of Cups somehow. Because with this Chariot, it's like, why can't I be like this other person or keep up to them or be as good, as talented as them? Why am I not having it easy like my siblings or like my friend who always seem to have the answers that I seek? Why can't I have this look or this personality or their life or their childhood or their family, their assurance maybe, or their self-confidence? But the problem here is that you have entrapped this idea that you don't have what it takes for your own happiness, for your own success, your own fulfillment, or your own fame, Patu. Someone else maybe has it, but not you. But that's not true, Patu. You are this Queen of Wands. Whether you are a man or a woman, a Queen of Wands lives inside of you. I always say that. And she needs your healing and attention right now. It's because all of those feelings, that thrill, that confidence, that success, that confirmation you are seeking and looking for outside in the world, you need to learn how to see it in yourself. Nothing in this world will be strong enough or be enough to make you come to your own inner Queen of Wands. No achievements or recognition in this world will be enough to heal that in you or to bring you that to your own power, to your own confidence, to your own self-fulfillment. You need to see it in you before you can reach it in anything else. You need to see the phoenix rising in you. How to. Otherwise, your path is always bound to make you feel a little more frustrated with yourself, a little bit more impatient, like the destination always somehow feels empty, or like somehow it's never enough, and you need the other thrill and the next exciting thing always. It will always feel like this void or this hole that is impossible to fill and that you keep trying to chase. As long as you don't see it in yourself, everything that you have always ever wanted to have or to become. Your Queen of Wands is reversed here because there is something that is calling for your confidence right now, with or without this thing that you think that you need right now. So she wants you to feel powerful, to feel bold, courageous, passionate, like you can have anything that you want or make anything that you wish happen with the Magician in the Chariot without having this external validation to confirm it, to feel enough, to feel authentic, to feel strong without it. She's urging you to come to see all of these things in yourself right now because you have always been in the possession of them since day one. You have simply forgotten that you had them and that they were a vital part of you. I'm hearing that you knew this as a child, Patu. You have just fallen out of frequency with this part of you, basically. Possibly because people try to deactivate this big, bright light that you have, or maybe that they have tried to snuff it out. You know, this flame of passion that you have and this natural enthusiasm that you have for life. When people project that type of big, bright light energy, it's scary for a lot of people. It's scary because this might mean that those people will have to watch you achieve your bright future while contemplating why they are failing to pursue theirs. But a Queen of Wands never asked others if she can be bright, powerful, confident, beautiful, if she can be herself. She embodies these things for herself. Your Queen of Wands, like I said, is not only asking you to see this in yourself and to start accepting it as a part of your power and of who you always were meant to become, Patu. She also wants you to look at your past for all of the confirmation that you need and the Six of Cups and Six of Swords, because many of my Patus come from a difficult past that taught you how to change defeats into triumphs, challenges and obstacles into opportunities for some magic to happen and be performed by you in your life. So either you come from a difficult past that has taught you how to do that, or you come from particularly difficult moments in the past that not a lot of people could have survived, but you did. So your inner Queen of Wands, she wants you to take a look at all of those times you have told yourself you wouldn't be able to do something before you have done it for the first time, where you have told yourself, I will never find the strength, or I will never have the courage or find the confidence to do it. And you've still put your armor on and you've gone through it anyways. And you've emerged on the other side of it and pulled a victory with yourself. To me, this Magician and Chariot are telling me that you guys are certified and have everything that it takes to make something happen. You are trained for this. You were built for this, but you just don't see it or want to believe in it. That is why this Queen of Wands is being reversed for you here. Have some faith in yourself, Baltu. You are clearly, seriously underestimating yourself in something. You are underestimating your past, everything you have survived, and your power. And your confidence is taking a big hit because of these doubts that you have in yourself. But let me tell you something. You don't need the confirmation or validation that you're seeking right now. You don't have to go very far to come into your Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords. You have never lost it with the Six of Cups. You just need to remember about it, to remember her, and to be careful about putting others or someone else on a pedestal compared to you as well, because even this person doesn't have the potential, the skills, the talents, and the particular personality that you have. There is no other you on this planet, and you were created to be exactly who you were meant to be in order to fulfill your biggest purpose here. So you don't need to become anything or anyone else or to be somewhere else on this journey. You guys are exactly perfect where you are, as you are right now. All right. So let's see some other healing messages from your spirit guides right now. What's the remedy that the universe is prescribing to you at this time, my Paltu? And look at that. We have a card of self-love. Is that even surprising? Then we have release. Beautiful. It's like she is shooting and controlling these lightning bolts from the tips of her fingers, which makes me think of the Magician. And then we have answers within. So exactly, that's the lesson of self-love right here. My Paltus have been looking for certain answers or maybe confirmations that already live inside of you. And all that you need to do is to trust in them, to trust in your own capacity to come up with your very own answers and to release all of your fears and doubt clouding your judgment right now. Trust in your own knowledge, in your own life experience. Trust that you have all that it takes to make this work or big move that needs to be done authentically in your own way, because there is no other way to do it than yours, Paltu. There is no other way to do this than your way. And most, but especially, you are already the love or validation that you need or that you have been trying to find in all of these places and in all of these other life achievements you are trying to pursue. That reminds me what I was talking about with someone else this week. We were talking about women that feel the urgency to become a mother. And although, yes, there is, a big biological factor to take into consideration as to why someone may feel pushed to conceive. But in my mind, it has always raised some sort of red flag whenever I saw people wanting to bring some more meaning into their life by having a child, or when I have heard from other women that having a child is like this ultimate experience to reach in life. It's never rang like a very healthy thing. Pursuing the idea of having a child as being, this ultimate goal or dream to achieve in order to be fulfilled and accomplished, I don't personally believe that a child is the only way to, receive unconditional love and to give unconditional love. I think people miss on a lot of opportunities to have what they want very often because they close their mind to this one specific format or this one specific idea that they believe they need, to have in order to find what they are looking for. Because that's the thing, you are already important, you guys. And purpose, fulfillment, excitement for life, ultimate bliss is something that you have within you. You already possess all of that, and you can conjure it up from yourself whenever you want, by the way. Nobody has the responsibility to bring you that, not even your own child. We don't possess children, by the way. They are their own person, and yes, at the beginning of their life, they are very dependable, but they are still never ours. Children are their own person, and it's certainly not a child's job to make you happy and fulfilled. You know what I mean? So that was the example that came to my mind right now, but it may be applied to what you're going through, how you see fit, basically. But you guys have been looking for something that is already to be found within you. That is what I'm feeling here with this kind of self-love and answers within. You can be the only creator of that with this kind of release and this magician. You are the lady here shooting lightning bolts from her hands. You're the magician. You are the creator of that. That's why you can seem to find exactly what you are looking for anywhere. Paltu, you're meant to create it. You're meant to build it yourself. That's why some of you can't find the right partner or can't seem to find that success or to find that ultimate goal that will bring you a lasting sense of purpose. You are the purpose of your life, Paltu. Nothing in this world is in your debt to bring you that. Nothing and no one in this world will be able to make you feel this way. Only you can make yourself feel this way. And as long as you don't see that, nothing in this world will be able to quench your thirst to try to have more, become even better, or try to find better. No matter if this is in your relationships, in your career, or in general, that this life crisis is going through at this time, or that you're looking to find this upgrade right there. What you are looking for, you already have it. But it takes training to come to embody it and to see it. And the crazy part is that a lot of people around you may already see this in you, Paltu. That's the thing that I've sensed when this Six of Cups and came out right next to this Queen of Wands reversed. But these people might just not be saying it, or maybe that they are too shy to say it, or it simply never came into the conversation. But it doesn't even matter, let me tell you, because even all of the people in the world seeing your power and your own magic won't make the difference if you can see it in you first. And that's the big self-love here in this situation. Whatever you're trying to push forth or break through at this time in your life will never come if you are in this attitude that this is what you lack in your life or in yourself to be the best version of yourself. That is what is creating the resistance here that needs to be released. Because like I've mentioned earlier, if you think about it, that's because it's already a part of you. And that's because it's already a part of your reality somehow. And it might sound shocking to a lot of you, but often when we admire who someone is able to be, for example, it's because we have a trait that we see in them already within ourselves. We have just not been able to access it yet, or maybe we have just not allowed ourselves to tap into it just yet, or maybe that we are just neglecting this part of us with ourselves. But no amount of validation in this world will be able to be a testimony of your gifts, of your talents and your skills, Paltu. I want you to know that. That's why you don't need to wait to be confirmed by someone else before starting to pursue something that vibrates with your heart right now. You know, you don't wake up some of these days with the confidence that you need to do something. Confidence, it comes as you allow yourself those small victories here with the Chariot, as you get out of bed and as you do these small steps every day that enable you to reach a small victory with yourself. Those are the confirmations that you need. That's why you don't need to wait to be confirmed by someone else before you start pursuing something that vibrates with your heart right now. And you need to basically wake up to that fact, because a lot of your healing is into that. A lot of your questions will have remained unanswered as to why you had to the upbringing that you had, basically the friends that you had, the encouragement or self-assurance that you don't have, all of that is bringing you back to your own self, to your own voice and your own opinion of yourself. Your healing will come from opening your eyes to that and realizing this idea that in order to be successful at something or to make something happen in your life right now, you already have the answers that you need, and you already are those answers. Basically, pile 2, you already are the biggest love of your life. So pile 2, this is all that I'm seeing as the messages of healing you need to hear right now. I want to thank you so much for being on this reading with me today and for giving me this chance to be your guide through it. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope that you have some direction as to where to find healing at this time. If you appreciated the reading, definitely keep in touch and subscribe. It's a pleasure to have you in the family. And for those of you who have been interested to see my online private tarot services, I do offer personal readings, and I do offer various healing sessions, kind of like this one. So the link to my online store will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all soon again for another reading. Bye, you guys. Welcome to everybody who has chosen pile 3. You guys have chosen the card of energy work, and I feel like it's a beautiful idea, beautiful choice. Not really in my own life, when I don't really know where a problem seems to take root from, or when sometimes I feel like I just feel overwhelmed, and I feel like it has taken such a momentum in my life that right now I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start looking for healing. I turn towards energy work. So maybe that this has been an intent for you guys lately. Maybe that you guys are in need of a whole energetic reset, maybe just a freshen up of energies in your life. But we are going to start today's reading basically with your chakra oracle cards here, to sort of see what areas of your energetic body needs your attention the most right now. Because for when it comes to healing, I personally find that everything is connected. Our mind, our physical body, our energetic body are in constant communication with each other, and our energetic body is what I tend to find that we neglect a little as a society in general, because a lot of us can't see our energetic body, or sometimes some of us can't even feel it even. So therefore we tend to ignore it a lot of the time, and we tend to accumulate a lot of blockages in there. But so we're going to start by checking this out, and after that we're going to jump straight into your tarot cards to get into more details about that and see specifically what needs healing in your life at this time. And finally, at the end of the reading, I'm also going to reveal some extra oracle cards to get some messages of guidance from the universe and see what is your healing prescription from the universe. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. And I am sorry already if you can hear some voices or the TV sometimes in the background, because I live with some beautiful other souls. I have some roommates. So as usual, forgive me for that. So your first card, your first chakra card, is the card of release, which this color gray for this deck is associated with the crown chakra. And then we have another crown chakra. This one is destiny for you guys. So interesting, because we have two gray cards for you here, and in this specific chakra deck, like I've said, the color gray is associated with the crown chakra. And basically the crown chakra is the doorway through which we feel in contact with the universe. That's how I personally view it. It's kind of like our doorway towards feeling a connection to the whole, a connection to the universe, a connection to our fate, sometimes even. And when we experience a certain blockage or hindrance in terms of our crown chakra, I tend to find that life can definitely become quite cynical and quite nihilistic. And normally that's because our faith is what is being attacked, or is what is being put back into questions. So it feels already like this reading might be tied to your crown chakra for you guys, for sure, for you, pile 3. What needs healing is directly tied to your capacity to have faith, basically, in seeing your bigger destiny, most likely. So maybe that it's attacking your ability to have faith in your future and in your own potential. I'm getting a feeling that this reading will directly or indirectly speak about your capacity to have faith somehow, and you're probably speak about your connection to God. And look, I'm using the word God here, but please remember that this is only a term I'm using right now to refer back to the universe, to the all, or to the most high, to the source, or whatever you personally refer to it as. But the message I'm getting here with these cards is that there might be certain worries that you guys are looking to release about your future. But that's anxiety or a tension about the future that I'm feeling with those cards. And it comes from a lack of faith, pile 3, possibly because maybe that something happened in your life lately that has taken a stroll on your faith, or maybe that it's because something happened and ever since then it's like your hopes and faith for a better life or a better future has somehow been lost through it. I wonder if there is a bit of grief as well, maybe attached to something ending in your life as well for a couple of you. Because it seems like with this kind of release, there's something that you need to purge here, that you need to like cleanse yourself from or wash your hands from, that you need to give yourself the time to say goodbye to, maybe. That some of you could have struggled to try to move on from this event perhaps, or maybe that you struggle to move on from your past, from what happened, with this card of destiny right next as well. Maybe that's what is blurring this sort of idea of the future for you right now. So I want to take a look at your tower cards before I go any further, because it's crazy, but I sense a lot of past energy and future energy being both a source of anxiety or depression here. And I wonder why. I wonder what this could be, because depression normally is always related to the past. But anxiety is a state of mind related to the fear of the future. But it's as though I'm feeling both of these energies sort of intertwining, which makes me feel a whole bunch of different emotions mixed up together. It's like my heart doesn't know where to go and my emotions are a bit confused. So let's see if your tarot cards can clarify this. We're starting here with the 7 of Discs, otherwise known as the 7 of Pentacles. Then we have the 3 of Swords reversed. And the next card is the Star card. Then we have the 2 of Swords. So that makes sense. Then we're finishing with the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so there is something that some of you feel is missing about something in your life, and that you are trying to find. You're trying to find what this could be, or why is it that you can't seem to feel what you think you're supposed to feel. Some of you don't understand why you feel this hole or this emptiness in something that should be enough to fulfill you. And this feels like work related because of these Pentacles cards here, because of the 7 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. But this could be anything that you guys are trying to build or are working towards right now, even if it's a relationship. I'm really seeing with those two cards that it's basically a work that you guys got involved into, or there is this thing that you really deeply want to build in your life. But now it's like you are having some doubts or second thoughts about the process of this. Maybe that the purpose of this work or what you're trying to build has lost its senses lately as well, because I feel like what was supposed to be fun, fulfilling, motivating slowly transformed into a chore, or it transformed into a labor for you. So this is fucked up. Like, this 8 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles are both telling me that there's something you have worked on creating or building in your life, but somewhere along the process or journey of this, you guys lost touch with the purpose of what you were doing. And so with the 3 of Swords, this work slowly transformed into pain, into labor, into a burden, into something your heart is not fully into anymore. And this is a bit dangerous for you, Pile 3, because not putting your heart and soul into this removes a lot of integrity from this thing that you're trying to create somehow. So maybe that this is speaking about a relationship that maybe makes you feel a bit cold or a bit distant, maybe a bit numb, or this could be a work or a project in your life, and maybe that at the beginning when you started this thing you were full of enthusiasm and motivation for it, and slowly as time went on and as you got so focused on the work or on the practical aspect of this goal or of this relationship, somehow you have fallen out of touch with that initial feeling or purpose or passion that this thing was able to make you feel. So slowly, it's like some of you started to become numb and disconnected from it. I'm feeling a bit of numbness and disconnection with both the Star and the 3 of Swords reverse. And I feel that this is because this project, relationship, or goal became way too serious for you. It became way more serious than it needed to be. And so all of the fun, sort of a stress-free, light-hearted aspect of it got sucked out of it, leaving you feeling stressed, feeling numb, or like something essential is lacking here, even if you can't quite put a finger on it. So it's like this thing, this goal, or this person doesn't make you feel the way that it used to make you feel anymore. And some of you are feeling guilty about that as well, is what I'm hearing right now, because you're wondering why this is something that keeps happening to you with the 2 of Swords. So for example, maybe that you wonder why you keep getting involved into relationships that make you feel so good at first, but that then make you feel bored, numb, and distant very fast. Some of you as well may have worked towards something for a certain amount of years, or spent a lot of energy into this goal or dream that you had, only to wonder at the end of the day, why is it that I wanted from this again? What is it that I'm doing here? It's this strange, numb, disconnected feeling again that I feel here. You know, it's like somehow the purpose of this thing and why you were doing it at the first place, it got entangled with the details or the practical or work-related aspect of this thing. So the task lost its essence. It has lost its purpose. And more dangerous again, it lost its integrity, Pile 3. I don't know why, but the word integrity keeps going through strongly in your reading. Something you are working towards or are committed, have committed yourself to, basically, has lost your interest along the way here, and seems it's like your heart is not into this anymore. No matter how hard you try to push or ignore it still, no matter how hard you're trying to stay focused on that commitment, it simply doesn't feel the same. I have like no other way to put it. And some of you are numb because you can't understand why, because at some point in the past, you really wanted this, I feel. I feel that this is something you really wanted. You really felt connected to this thing. And it's like, now I should be happy, but I am not. I should be proud of myself, but I can't feel proud. This is something that I have wanted. So why can't I feel content, at peace, fulfilled now that I have it? So some of you are wondering if this is just a phase or maybe just a pause in your momentum, maybe because at first you were really excited about the potential of this and you really could feel into it. You thought that this will lead somewhere, that this will lead you somewhere fulfilling and that it will grow into something more. But it's like once you've got into it, it turned into some sort of disappointment. Or it's like the joyous parts of it turn into a chore with this Eight of Pentacles. And now it's like your heart has not been into this for a while now. And because your heart is not as much into it anymore, you are sort of halting things or impacting the results of it with the Seven of Pentacles right next. That's what I mean by it's hurting the integrity or the purpose of what you are starting, of why you started doing this thing in the first place. And I find it interesting because it has been a theme coming in another pile as well. Like not hurting the integrity of what you're working towards creating. That's because your hesitancy, doubts, and disconnection is impacting this whole operation here. I'm getting here with those cards, pile 3, that some of you are trying to find certain feeling, like a certain feeling you think you should be able to feel in the wrong things or in the wrong people. And that's what the problem is actually all about, it seems. That's the thing. It's like this work, this goal, this job, or this person was never meant to be able to provide you with that feeling you're looking to feel. They were never meant to be the provider of that. And that's because what you are looking to find or to feel is something you're meant to build, is what I'm hearing with this Eight of Pentacles. It's not something you're meant to seek or that you're meant to find somewhere or with somebody else. That is something you are meant to build with the right people and within the right places. And some of you have been afraid that I will maybe confirm that you are pushing or trying in the wrong places or with the wrong people at this time. Because with the Two of Swords, I'm seeing that there is this painful, stinging truth that you guys have actually numbed yourself towards with this Three of Swords reverse, that you guys have actually blinded yourself from. Because, you know, swords in tarot, they represent the truth. So the Three of Swords represent that moment when the truth hurts, basically. And the Two of Swords represent this moment when we are being confronted with like two sides of the reality or two different sides of the truth. And we can resonate equally with both of these sides. And so that's where a lot of confusion starts to settle in, because we can't seem to agree on which side of the truth we need to be on. We feel divided by those two truths that are opposite from each other, but that we both seem to resonate with. So what I'm seeing with this Three of Swords reverse and Two of Swords is that some of you, it seems, you have tried to escape a certain truth through this work or through pushing through. Some of you have ignored this little voice in your mind that was telling you that something felt wrong about this. And maybe that some of you have been exposed to a certain truth you were actually able to feel, but not necessarily maybe confirm in your outside world, in your material reality. And so for now, it's like you prefer to follow the side of the truth that makes you feel better for now, that feels a bit less painful for you, but it's not giving you a real sense of peace. Pile 3 is what I'm getting here. Otherwise, if this thing, person, or goal was truly able to bring you peace, I don't think you would be on this reading and on this specific pile. With the doubts that you have, obviously you will know if this reading is meant for you or not. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then definitely don't try to force to make anything that I'm saying fit in your life, because this reading is meant to be a confirmation for people who have already been feeling this, all right? But what I'm getting with this Three of Swords reverse is that you know that something is wrong underneath the surface of something you're working towards, and you guys ignoring this feeling or keeping working against it is hurting your integrity, or it's hurting the integrity of the process of this. And not only that, but it's also hurting your heart. My pile 3s feel like my people who are resilient as hell. Like, you guys are hard working and you simply don't give up. But there is as well the fact that you guys are aware of how insensitive you are and how sensitive you can be. And sometimes you keep a lot in to yourself because you don't want to hurt anyone, or because you don't want to be a burden for anyone. And in fact, you prefer even to take the burden from other people most of the time. So it creates this ironic loop where, because of your fear to not burden anyone with your problems, you start burdening your own self with it. And maybe that you brush certain things off to keep the harmony, or to keep going, or to not stop or disrupt the work that other people are trying to do. But what you need right now, pile 3, is to lay it all out on the table. With this Three of Swords reverse, you need to say what is waiting on your heart. Because as long as you keep all of that pain to yourself, you will keep nourishing this feeling of disconnection. And that's disconnection that I'm feeling here. That's why you've received 2 cards related to the crown chakra as well. So let's get some healing messages for you now and see what remedy the universe is prescribing you. Sorry. I have a lot of troubles with my word today. I feel like it has been a while since I've filmed these videos, so be patient with me, bear with me. I have a trouble articulating my words lately. So let's see. The first card that you have is reliable. Then we have reawaken. And we have flow. Okay, so trying to find a substitute to numb the pain, or find a substitute to what you feel you have lost, or find a substitute to what you think you should be able to feel, will not work. If you have been trying to compensate elsewhere in your life for the emotional lack that you feel, for the hole in your heart that you feel, and you try to bury it with some sort of work or some sort of task to keep your mind busy from thinking about it, it will not work. If anything, it reawakens the pain. Pile 3. Some of you have been afraid of the consequences you would have to go through if you were to back out of a certain plan or change your mind or realign your course. And some of you are afraid of giving up because you have invested a lot of heart, a lot of pain into this, a lot of sweat and tears into this. So you have made a lot of sacrifices along the way for this to work, with both the 7 of Pentacles and the three of Swords reversed. But it's like this situation has nothing to give you anymore. It's like it has been going nowhere, or if anything, it has been leading you towards certain bigger disappointments in your life. And that's what normally happens when we overworked or overused land. Pile 3. Kind of like a farmer that will keep working their land without ever fertilizing the soil. One day that dirt will be undernourished and turn into sand. So you move from loving this into feeling trapped by it. This is something that over time started to really weigh on you, because you try to be a reliable person and be faithful and honor your words with this card of reliability. And I definitely get that. Oh my God, I've been in that situation like that before, where it becomes so hard to say no and to back out of something. I'm personally someone that once I give my word, I give my heart to something. There is no way you can stop me or change my mind. It's like, I'm going to go until the end of the world with you and back, baby. And I feel that my pile 3s are like that too. But this comes from a wound, pile 3. Being afraid to say no, to raise more boundaries, it comes from a wound. Normally, that's either a wound of abandonment or of treason when we do that, because we are afraid to deceive others the way that we have ended up feeling deceived by others at a certain point of our life. So what I'm getting will heal this wound is to stop restricting your flow, to stop stifling, numbing, cutting yourself away from that uncomfortable feeling. You need to understand that your integrity and the integrity of this goal or this purpose that you're trying to fulfill is a lot more important than trying to spare feelings here. Thing is, I feel like my pile threes are people who have been abandoned, rejected, and told no so many times that it sort of sometimes blocked you from allowing yourself to say no and walk away sometimes from certain things. And that's because you guys are good people. You have certain morals and principles that you want to honor. But you are not betraying yourself or others by changing your mind and following the flow of how you feel, pile 3. Look at this card of flow. This river here is carving itself anyway, whether you try to swim against it or not. So we do not choose how we feel. That's the thing. The more you continue to work against how you feel, the more it's densifying this wall where you can't seem to see a way out of it. And it's not necessarily that things are getting stuck material wise. I don't feel that for you. I don't feel that it's the work that you're putting in that is getting stuck, pile 3, but I feel that what is getting stuck and congested is your emotions that are simply not there following the process anymore. And the more that you keep going, the more you detach and the more you suppress, basically. So you need to acknowledge and see the truth you have been trying to keep your mind from seeing and accepting, pile 3. With this kind of reawaken and this 2 of swords, you need to open your eyes to something uncomfortable for you to see or accept right now. Because as long as you don't want to see it or try to refuse it, it will never be addressed. Because like I've said before, we can't heal a problem we refuse to own. But you need to move on from this. That's why the star card is here in the middle. And this card of flow is here as well. You need to release and separate from this. And you really want to find the strength to say no, to raise boundaries, and to put this disappointment, this trauma behind you. You just want to let this go because you're tired of having it control over your life. You just want to be free of all of this. But one thing that will release you, pile 3, is stopping to take this burden or weight as your fault. You have to know that you're able to rid yourself of this burden on your own, and it's not your fault for not seeing the results you've seen coming sooner. Because some of you really needed to give this another chance or another final push in order to really see if this path was meant for you. And I'm really seeing that now that you hold the confirmation, you will be able to walk away from this freely now. You really needed to see what attracted you towards this goal, this work, or this person in the first place. Because as soon as you understand why you felt connected to this thing spiritually in the first place, it will stop losing its sense to let it go. But that's how you reclaim your power and control over your own life and heal this wound, pile 3, is by understanding that you absolutely needed this chance to let yourself have this confirmation that you needed so that you can know where your place is and where it's not. You haven't lost your time here. I want you to know that, even if you think that you did, because the reason why you needed to experience was for confirmation more than the reasons you may have thought in the beginning. And not only that, but this experience will have nourished you with a lot of independence as well. So nothing is wasted. Nothing is ever wasted. And I am even hearing for you, pile 3, that the destination you are looking to find in the first place isn't gone into garbage. It's only the way to get there that has changed with the card of flow. Because this goal was never meant to become a 3 of swords reverse moment for you. It was never meant to become a painful chore in the first place. With this kind of flow, it's just that there is an easier way for you to get there, one that will be a lot less painful, a lot less fruitless and discouraging than this one. One that will require a lot less work and effort even, so that the next time you get to really enjoy the process. So that's what your guides want you to take from this reading, I feel, today. But my path 3, this is all I'm seeing as the messages of healing you need to hear right now. I want to thank you so much for being on this reading with me today and for giving me this chance to be a guide through it. I appreciate you all so very much, and I hope that you have some direction as to where to find healing at this time. If you appreciated this reading, definitely keep in touch and subscribe. It is an honor to have you in the family. And for some of you who have been interested to see my online private tarot services, I do offer personal readings, and I do offer as well various guiding and healing sessions kind of like that on the store. So the link to my online store will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all soon again for another reading. Bye bye, you guys. Welcome to everybody who has chosen path 4. You guys have chosen the soul medicine of drinking tea. I dig that. I vibe with that method. That probably would have been my choice right now. I just think that sometimes taking the time to slow down and just really sip a good warm tea, it just helps like recollect your thoughts and just center back your energy. Sometimes it's all that it takes, man. So today we're going to start this reading with some chakra oracle cards actually at the beginning to get some sort of messages about what areas of your energetic body needs your attention the most right now, path 4. Because for when it comes to healing, I'm someone that truly believes that all is connected, like our mind, our physical body, our energetic body are things that are in constant communication with each other, and our energetic body is what I tend to find that we neglect the most as people. And that's because a lot of the time our energetic body is this thing that we can't see, and sometimes some of us can't even feel it. Therefore, we tend to ignore it a lot of the time, but we tend to still accumulate a lot of blockages in there still. So we're going to take a look at that first, and then after that, we're going to jump into your tarot cards and get into more specific message about what needs actual healing in your life. And then at the final end of the reading, I'm going to reveal some extra oracle cards as well to see what is your healing prescription from the universe right now. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. The chakra cards you have received are instinct. And this card is related to the crown chakra with the color gray from this deck in particular. And then we have insecurity, which is related to the root chakra with this color red. Okay, so starting with those two cards, to me, path 4, what I'm getting with those cards right away is that it seems like you could be having a hard time sometimes differentiating your instinct and intuition from the voice of your fears and insecurity. But this mainly happens when you are ungrounded, because I feel like you guys have a very sharp gut feeling. You probably are the type of people that can feel when something is going to go wrong, or if someone is not to be trusted somehow, and you may feel all of that from your gut. I don't know why, but I'm feeling my plexus solar chakra firing up like crazy for you. And it's funny because we don't even have any cards here speaking about the plexus solar, but I feel with this kind of instinct that there is a lot that you can pick up from the ethereal through your crown chakra as well, but especially through your plexus solar area, because the plexus solar is basically right the middle of our energy. And I find it interesting because you have a crown chakra and root chakra card here, which are the extremes, both of the extremes from our energy. And the plexus solar chakra normally is right in the middle. So I feel like there is a lot that you can pick up through your crown chakra and especially your plexus solar. However, when you are unrooted or ungrounded with this root chakra card of insecurity, it seems like it kicks your plexus solar into high gear. And the plexus solar chakra is basically located right above the navel. By the way, it is where our emotional memories tend to be stored and where our gut feeling comes from, basically. It is emotionally associated with self-confidence, happiness, and joy as well. So a healthy plexus solar will keep us strong in personal power, and it will give us this sense of knowing and a very good sense of belonging. So maybe that you guys have been feeling your plexus solar chakra heating up like crazy lately, and maybe that's why I feel that in your specific palm. And like I've said, I find it interesting that we have both the most upper chakra with the crown chakra for you guys, and as well as the lowest of these chakras, which is the root. So this to me indicates that either you guys are spiritually disconnected, or either you guys are ungrounded, maybe a little bit of both. But for most of you, this seems to be like an issue of grounding, especially since this cards speak of insecurity here. And I feel that this is in part because you guys don't know if you can fully trust in something right now. Maybe if you can fully trust in your own instincts or gut feeling, that's because you guys cannot seem to distinct if the information that you're receiving right now through your plexus solar is actually your intuition speaking to you, or if it's actually your fears and anxieties trying to play trick on you. But for when it comes to differentiating logic and intuition and the difference between fear and intuition, one thing that I tend to find is really important is to first see if the information you receive right now is a call of action, if it's calling you towards action for something new, or that you have never done before, or maybe if it's a call of action outside of your comfort zone, path 4. Because if that is the case, then the new will always have a dose of fear that comes with it, even when it's something that we actually are excited about doing. Excitement and fear sometimes are emotions that can marry themselves together very well. I also want you to know that a good trick to know the difference between your intuition and your fear is to take the time to listen to what the emotion you're having says in your body, because fear will always try to constrict you. It's always going to try to make you smaller than what you actually are. While your intuition and the truth, they will try to do the opposite. They will try to expand you and make you bigger than you are. So, well, not bigger than you are, but bigger than you feel you are. So if, for instance, you receive an information that helps you or someone else expand, then it's probably your intuition speaking to you. And that's how I personally came to learn to understand the language of my intuition personally. But let's check now your tarot cards and see what needs actual healing in your life at this time. We are starting strong with the 5 of Swords. But don't worry, you guys. No cards in tarot are bad. They're all positive. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. Then we have the 2 of Wands. Then the next card is the 7 of Swords reversed. And we have the Ace of Cups reversed. I just noticed that my candle went out. Let me light it back up for you guys. There we go. Okay, so on to your reading now. So for when it comes to your tarot cards, path 4, to me, the energies being present here seems to scream trust issues, especially if I look at your chakra cards as well. We have the 7 of Swords here, which tells me that you guys are under the impression that somebody here is getting away with something or is not being fully honest maybe about something. And we have the 5 of Swords here as well, which speaks of 2 minds or 2 egos arguing with each other. And we also have the Queen of Swords reversed, which, you know, a Queen of Swords when she comes in reverse, she can become quite stubborn, quite argumentative. She can also become quite stuck in her own opinions and ideas, so much so that sometimes she refuses to listen or see that there is another opinion to consider. And when she refuses to be empathic like that, it's like nothing can change her mind. So it seems like there is something here, someone here in your life that you don't know if you should trust or believe Pal for. And it's kind of like a stubbornness or a stubborn habit maybe that you have to be suspicious of them or to be suspicious like that. It's like no matter how this person could be trying to earn your trust, it's like you're a bit stuck in that feeling of doubt or in that stubbornness, basically, of not knowing if you should give it a shot or should give it another chance, basically. So it seems like there's someone here that maybe you don't know if you should trust or believe that, or there's some sort of trust issue that you're dealing with at the moment, and that is keeping you from experiencing your emotions and the love that you have to give more fully. With this Two of Wands and the Ace of Cups reverse as well. You don't know if you can trust someone or something. And I feel that this is because in the past, you have been a witness of a lot of people breaking their promises to you. You have decided to trust their word deliberately because you love them, because you respected them, and thought that they held your best interest into account with this Ace of Cups reversed. And over time, it broke something in you. Like it would have to anyone to see those individuals or this person real intentions towards you. You feel like you were naive, the naive one, maybe, that bought into it, into this scheme or into this dream that someone else tried to sell you, but you're not a fool. And there is simply no way that you could have known that this was about to happen to you, Pal 4. You deserved a conversation, but this conversation turned into a cruel confrontation where someone was either being extremely defensive here or extremely hurtful and manipulative with their word, maybe. With a Five of Swords and Queen of Swords reversed, this is how I feel. And with this Two of Wands, I feel that this is being caught in surprise like that. That was actually probably the most traumatic part of this experience, because what happened here was extremely unexpected for you, is what I feel with this card. Or it's like you couldn't believe that someone like that could do something like this to you or say something like this to you. You were expecting so much more from them, and you have ended up feeling tricked. You have ended up feeling cheated, lied to, abused, or manipulated with the Seven of Swords. So it seems like this wound of mistrust here, it took a lot more power than it was initially supposed to, or it gained more momentum in your life than it was supposed to. And now it seems like it's keeping you from embracing a lot of beautiful things in your life, Pal 4. With this Two of Wands and Ace of Cups reversed, this mistrust, I feel, is keeping you away sometimes from abandoning yourself fully to how you feel sometimes about someone or about a situation. Sometimes it keeps you away from love, or it keeps you away from taking an emotional risk. It keeps you away from trusting in your own emotions and intuition again. And it keeps you from basically getting truly emotionally invested into something. It's like your heart never got over this betrayal, this last betrayal, or this last confrontation somehow as well. So now it's like your heart doesn't know if it can trust in something fully again. This Queen of Swords reverse is sort of giving me the image of not being able to hold on to the truth or to the belief or rely on someone else's word that this will not happen again, because this event felt like a cold shower to you, like someone took basically the glass that you held in your hand with the Ace of Cups reverse and just spilled it all over the floor right in front of you. So this experience made your heart, it made your heart feel a little bit cold towards the world or towards this person with the Queen of Swords reversed. And now it's difficult to not take this pain personally or to not believe that people do things things like that without having some sort of deeper hidden agenda or deeper malicious intent. But the thing is, I don't even feel that this person was smart as you give them the credit for, power for. And no offense here, it's not to say that this person is stupid or anything like that. I just feel with this Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords reversed that this person was simply not aware of the consequences of their words and of their action towards you. They just spoke or did something in a moment without thinking. So yeah, this person just spoke or did something in a moment without thinking. And that's what caused this huge damage here, because when we lack the awareness, that's when we become dangerous to ourselves and to others. And this has left you feeling so confused. It made the problem become so much bigger in your life, where now it's affecting other relationships in your life. It's funny because this reading feels like two different separate timelines somehow. We have the first section here with the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords that seems to speak of an energy of the past. And then we have sort of the present here with the Seven of Swords reverse and the Ace of Cups reverse, separated by this Two of Wands in the middle. That seems to make a window of this past into your present. So the lack of trust you seem to be experiencing right now, or that seems to be poisoning your present, pile 4, it comes from this window that was never closed in your life. And that is still painful for you to think about. Something about that experience still stings when you think about it or when you revisit it, and it still has an effect on your capacity to believe in emotions and to believe in something good that could happen to you. Like I have said previously with this card of instinct and insecurity, this seems like your fears of the past repeating itself that keeps you from really enjoying an experience in your life that is supposed to indulge you in your emotions right now. With this Ace of Cups reversed, it's the fear of having this experience repeat again that is making you feel suspicious like that towards someone or towards a feeling that you are having. So this could be why I've sensed this division here, and between your crown and your root chakra earlier, in between like your ability to separate your instinct of survival from your fears maybe. And I'm wondering if you are being suspicious of someone in your life at this time, and this could be why maybe this is the theme of your reading right now. If someone is conjuring up those suspicions in your life, pile 4, and are giving you valid reasons to doubt them, then know that you have every right to stand up and to defend yourself with this Five of Swords and Queen of Swords reverse. And if someone makes you feel guilty about that, if someone is guilt tripping you about that, I want to know who that person is and go at their house and punch them in the face, because if someone is keeping you from speaking your truth and standing up to them to protect yourself, then we have a problem here, because it's our duty as individuals to be able to defend our own selves. That's a divine right that was given to you in this life. Nobody owes us that and is supposed to do that for us but ourselves. So we are the ones responsible for defending ourselves. So if you are afraid to do that right now, or are anticipating a potential confrontation very much, remember that you are the person that is supposed to show up for you when you are in need, when you are the one that is supposed to protect yourself, and you have the right to do that. And if someone else can't understand that, then maybe they don't deserve to have access to your Ace of Cups right now. Then maybe they don't deserve access as much to your compassionate side, to your empathy right now. Because every time that you avoid confrontation or speaking out your true feelings, you are basically telling yourself, your heart and your emotions, that they are not deserving to be defended. And this is affecting your capacity to believe and trust in those emotions and in your own voice, in the power of your own voice, pile 4. Somehow your voice is coming through with all of those swords cards in your reading. So, if somebody is really giving you the reasons to be suspicious now, if this betrayal that I'm speaking about is happening to you in the present, but then this person tries to dismiss your feeling or invalidate them, or you're trying to, if you're giving them chances over chances over chances, and you're still, allowing this to happen to you, allowing this disrespect to keep happening to you. It's basically you giving up on protecting yourself properly, and that's a problem. But if this energy of betrayal is something of the past and you resonate with that message being about your past, then that's another indication that this is where your healing lies at now at this time. Your healing is in addressing this mistrust that you have been suffering from in your past. And it's just so special because I feel that this could be a pattern in your life, in the life of my pal 4 somehow, where you guys may have always somehow felt like trust was a bit more difficult for you to earn or for you to give. But let's see how you heal at this time, what the universe is prescribing to you. We have mental repetition. Then we have modify. Exactly. So this is an old narrative that you need to modify, pile 4, that you need to change. We have here compassion. It's a very cute card. Exactly. So this lack of trust is a narrative, and you need to change it by making yourself emotionally available and by opening your heart up again, pile 4. So you will heal by allowing yourself to be vulnerable once again with this card of compassion and this Ace of Cups reverse. You need to let someone that is deserving of your Ace of Cups access to that. Someone that hasn't done anything to deserve your doubts yet, access this cup, because by denying them to it, you are drying out a situation in your life that is in need of nourishment, that is in need of your emotional presence. So with this card of compassion, your spirit guides want you to open up your heart again. And how you do this, pile 4, is by stopping the resistance, because that's the thing for when it comes to the emotions that you feel. Either you feel it or you don't. Feelings, they can never be forced. They happen naturally or they are simply not there. And when you feel an emotion, but then you resist how you feel, that's like as though your emotion was a football, right? And you're trying to keep this football underwater. But our emotions are like this football, and they are already programmed and designed to float back at the surface. And all that you need to do is to remove your hand from keeping it underwater and to allow it to float naturally back at the surface of your life. That's how you can abandon yourself to your emotions again. When you keep that football underwater, you're basically telling yourself that you're not ready to move on from this experience yet. And it's okay if you're not ready to move on yet. It's okay to give yourself the time to feel ready to do that and to maybe step away from that commitment until you feel ready. But when you keep this football down in the water, your emotions choking underwater, you're basically allowing the trauma into your experience again. So you are recreating the trauma, basically. It's funny because a lot of people come to me with this question when they have undergone a certain emotional trauma. How am I supposed to trust again? But the thing about trust is that it doesn't require us to do anything. On the contrary, trust is an act of surrender. It requires us to actually remove our own selves out of the way of our emotions that have always known what to do since we were born. So trusting comes from knowing and understanding that yes, this is an isolated event here and it could happen again. Yes. But we can't stop living because of the fear of something happening again. You can't move on with your life in this way. So it's important that you believe the truth instead, pile 4. If you have difficulty having faith now in people and in humanity, in other people's word, then you need to have faith in the facts. And the facts are that no matter what happens, even if it happens again, you are held and the universe has got you. No matter what happens, you will be able to come out of this on the other side a lot stronger, a lot wiser, a lot more experienced and evolved, because that's the truth of it. So you're not here on this earth to suffer or be a victim. You are here to evolve, heal, and have these bunch of exciting experiences with us. But when you shut down emotionally, you are basically keeping yourself out from accessing that divine gift and divine right that is supposed to come with your life like that. So you have to know that you can give the benefits of the doubts to someone who hasn't done anything to deserve your suspicions, because when you bring your old experience into a new relationship, you're basically conjuring up a similar scenario, because then it becomes like a vicious circle, because it's difficult to trust someone who doesn't feel like they trust you. Even if this other person doesn't have any trust issues, it will always be difficult to trust someone we feel isn't fully trusting of us. Us sensitive beings, we can actually sense that when somebody is having a resistance or reservation towards us. So you have to know that there are others out there that are deserving of your unconditional trust, that will take your emotions seriously, that will keep their promises, and that will keep their word. Not everybody is out to trick you. Not everybody is trying to get you. Powerful. It's important that you don't let that bad experience have an impact on how you see other people's loyalty and allegiance to you. Because if this other person lacked the honesty and the integrity, or they lack the balls to tell you the truth, then it doesn't mean that others do as well. But that is how you heal your present and leave this experience in the past. It's by changing your narrative about your relationships and the way that people need to keep your loyalty too, because trust and loyalty aren't the same thing. Loyalty is about allegiance to someone else and devotion to someone else, but trust is about reliance on the integrity and ability of another person. So you are deserving of a relationship based on mutual respect and on that understanding where you both know what you are agreeing to and what you're signing up for, of course. So only you know if that is what you have right now or not. Your heart will know that. Your heart will feel that or not. But you also need to have the compassion and patience with yourself, and to know that this will take a lot of practice and a lot of mental discipline to think about doing as well. You know, it takes practice to rewrite a new mental narrative. Our narrative is the landscape through which we think we navigate through life. And if it's outdated, then it can surely make us feel like we keep reliving that same story, that same eternal loop of reciprocal trust issues. But relationships can be peaceful place too. They can be this peaceful heaven where you can abandon yourself to and find security into as well. And you have to let yourself have that and experience that, my powerful, especially if you keep feeling like you haven't had the chance to experience that before. Those relationships, they exist, and that's what you deserve, powerful. No matter if you find that in a best friend or in a romantic partner, or if that is someone that will come in as a chosen family member for you in your life, those people, they exist and they want the same thing as you. But powerful, this is all that I'm seeing for the messages of healing you need to hear right now. And I want to thank you so much for being on this reading with me today and for giving me this chance to be a guide through it all. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope that you have some direction as to where to find healing at this time. If you appreciated the reading, please make sure that you keep in touch and subscribe. It's an honor to have you in the family. And for some of you who have been interested to see my online private tarot services, I do offer personal readings like that, and I offer a bunch of different healing sessions, kind of like this one, on my store. So the link to my store will be down below in the description box, and otherwise I hope to see you all soon again for another video. Bye bye, you guys.